Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by and thanks for joining me during this tutorial. I appreciate you. I appreciate all my subscribers and those who like my video. Thank you very much for your support. Happy fall. And I just wanted to get started with just a few tutorials. As I'm creating, I am actually decorating as well. So I just want to show you what I'm working on and the few that I've done this week thus far. So getting started, I just decorated some boxes. So I'm just, taking some old pieces that I've had and revamping them. Now here I'm taking some old paint. This is very, very old paint. I'd say 20 years maybe or more. But if it has an odor, I just add a little bit of fragrance oil. But I'm taking some old paint and some old stain, and I'm adding putting those together. I'm going to be doing a sage on these boxes. I'm sorry, taking an olive green, not a sage, but I'm doing kind of a sage theme, but I'm adding other greens to the equation. So here I'm going to make an olive green because that's what I'm going to color or paint the boxes. An olive green. I want to keep this very earthy, very, very rustic. So I'm doing an olive green. And I'm going to keep the boxes flat. I don't want to shine to the shimmer to them. I want them to stay flat. So here I'm just adding black to get the desired green that I want. And I add a little at a time until I get it because I don't want to make it too dark. I have to lighten it up. And I'm just dabbing it on the lid because there's a lot of indiscrepancies as you can see on the lid. So I just want to dab that on and get a lot more coverage that way. So I may have to do a few dabs, maybe 2-3 dabs. And looking at it, probably 3. So I'm going to dab that 3 times. Not going to torture you with that, but I'm just showing you here where I'm dabbing, and you can see it's pretty good coverage. Now the bottom of the lid was okay, but I'm still going to give the first one, or the first coat a dabbing, and then I'll paint on the other coats. Probably only need one other coat, so that's the dab. So here I am taking now and just painting on the next coat. But as I can look at the lid and see, I'm going to need to dab that second, probably a third coat on the lid. Now, while I'm going to be decorating mostly the lid, or all of the lid, I'm still going to want it to look nice around the parts that won't be. Now, I gave that 2 more dabs. The bottom was fine, but I gave the top 2 more dabs. Here I'm taking a small foam ball, just shaving a flat side, and then taking some hot glue, adding that on, and then adding my pieces. Now, I'm just using some pine pieces for this. Now, you can choose to, use whatever you want to use. You don't have to use pine. You can use spruce or some other, just greenery. It can be regular greenery. It can be poinsettias. You can put whatever you want on here. You don't have to put the pine. I just like to add that as a touch for the holiday. And this can be for fall and winter, of course. So here I'm just adding pieces from other pieces that I've had. I'm keeping it pretty traditional and rustic at the same time. Now you can decorate it with gold and make it look really pretty with the white or off-white ribbon, but I just chose to keep it more earthy. Now here I found this ribbon I'm going to put on. But I like this better than the ribbon I had in mind. So all I'm doing is just taking the ribbon and using this ribbon maker. I like this. It makes making a ribbon a lot easier to measure instead of having to eyeball it. And so here I just twist it in the middle, turn it and bring it back, twist it in the middle each time, and then take a piece of wire and twist it right down the middle. Yeah, I just choose to fluff it out, but I'll fluff it out again when I put it on. And I will use a piece of hot glue to adhere the ribbon so that it won't fall off. And there's the hot glue on the piece of wire. This way it is here. Now I'm taking some, this is very thin, it's probably not too much more than the 16th of an inch thin ribbon, kind of with some gold on it. And I'm just taking a piece of double-sided tape and I'm adding that to the back of the ribbon. And I took off a big portion. I wish I hadn't. It's sticky and I don't want it to mess up the box, so I have to go back. So I'm going to go ahead and just slowly adhere that around the bottom of the lid, the outside bottom of the lid. Okay, so after I get it all on, all I do is put my lid back on. And that's what it looks like. Very nice, I think, and got a different look once again. And so I have several of these boxes. These used to be storage boxes, and so now I turned them into gift boxes. And I added, as you can see, some ribbon on the sides to hang over. And it can make a perfect gift box for someone if you wanted to give a present in such a beautiful way. It'd be a perfect gift box. Again, you can make them very as fancy as you want to make them, or so here now I'm going to show you how, this is another tutorial, and I'm going to show you how I first take and I simply paint. So I'm taking some pine, but I'm also going to take some spruce and I'm going to paint those as well. And I'm giving these a white coat. I don't want to completely coat them with white. I want to see a bit of the green, but I also added some, as you can see, some pine cones. But I'm covering with the lid. I'm just going to leave just a small portion of the lid open so I can spray it in there without it getting everywhere, the scent. But please ventilate whenever you're using a spray paint like that. Ventilate, please. So here I'm just cutting off a piece of craft paper. This is packing paper. That's all it is. So here I'm just going to take my fall wood spinner. I never can call the name of this thing, but I'm just going to take it, and there's something on there that I'm not able to get off here. I'm not sure what it is. I think it may be a piece of epoxy, but I'm not sure. Normally that would come right on off of there, but that's not coming off. So if it is epoxy, then it should heat up, and I should be able to get it off of there easily. Let's see if it'll come off now. Okay. That came right on off of there. Okay, great. Okay, so we just take and go ahead and give this a stain. Now I'm using the same leather that I've been using in my last few videos. I'm using the same leather brown stain, wood stain. And all I'm doing is I don't want to cover up the fall. I don't mind seeing that all year because most time I'm using this and it's not going to be seen anyway. But yeah, I just put a nice amount on here. To stain this entire piece. To stain this entire piece. The sides as well. What I'm doing is taking some spruce and I painted some white, but I'm going to add all my green to the bottom first. Now I'm adding the white to the top. Now this was a dupe. I saw this on Pinterest, and I really wanted to dupe it as much as possible. I couldn't get the exact look that they were going for. This was beautiful. So But I achieved a pretty good look here. And so I do like the finished results. I wouldn't mind having another one, but I'll take this one. And there's some satisfaction in knowing you did it yourself. And so I'm very grateful for how this is turning out. I'll be keeping this up for the entire season, for fall and winter. So thank you guys for watching this. And it's just a simple, just centerpiece, but I'm putting it up, or displaying it in a different way. I may decide to put it in the middle of the table later. I don't know. For right now, I just put it over here. So these are just pretty much simple DIYs. Now I want to show you another one that I actually put together. And what I did was I just decided to take some pumpkins and decided to paint those. So I took some paints and made a paint, a color that I liked, and I painted those pumpkins there. And then I just decided to add some, again, pieces that I already had. And so that was a simple DIY. So here I'm showing you how I put these little packets together. Now I saw this done a million times over, but I've never decided to do it myself. But I thought, wow, this is a year where I'm just doing fall and winter themes. So let's go ahead and do something. And so I've been making packets for my paper to sell. In other words, the outer packages, I've been making those. So I thought, well, why not just do something similar to what I make and make this simple. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to cut the paper in half. Now, this is supposed to be 11-inch paper, so it should be 5.5. But you have to go about half of a 16th, about an eighth of an inch over, because it's not exactly 11-inch paper, I found. Because when I tried cutting it 5.5 by 5.5, it didn't work. Okay, so here I just took some decorative paper, and I'm just going to use that to cover the white pieces that I cut in half. And all I did was cut those in half. Now I'm taking some stain, some dye here. It's just a simple DIY. I'm just kind of giving it a vintage look again, keeping it rustic, rather. And I do the back as well. And so now I'm going to cut off. And you can cut off as much as you want. I'm just cutting off enough to use that as a holder. It's going to actually hold my pieces that I'm going to be adding to this. So here I'm just kind of fussy cutting around, just not even a good fussy cut. It's just to give it a little bit of decoration. Now it looks so similar too, but when I put the pieces in, you won't be able to tell. Oh, you will be able to tell that it's separate. Although it looks like one piece when you put it together because of the designs being the same. So just decide exactly where I want to put it. I don't try to measure so that each one is put on the same way or the same at the same point. I don't worry about that. And here I'm doing again a little fussy cut. Just something different for each one. So with the magic, so here I'm just putting together. Just some simple DIYs. And here I decided before putting those on my table, displaying them, I'm going to give them a little nicer look. So I'll do the same to them all. And these are just some mini florals that I had. And I'm just putting those in and adding a few stickers on the plain ones. And so far these look pretty good. So thank you guys for stopping by. Once again, simple tutorials, nothing fancy, maybe just some ideas that you may have or may want to use that I find to be very tasteful for the holidays. Since I'm just going to be celebrating by myself, I want to just enjoy it, something different, just a seasonal thing and not a holiday thing. So thank you guys for stopping by. I'll be doing more. I'm going to do a few shorts. I have some great ideas that I want to implement, but they don't take a whole tutorial. So I'm going to be coming out with a few shorts this week. So thank you so much, you guys, for stopping by, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking time with me, and happy fall. Enjoy your fall season.